Hello, my name is Adrian Ryans. I'm a professor at IMD, the leading international business school based in Lausanne, Switzerland. Thank you for downloading this videocast, which is based in part on my book, Beating Low-Cost Competition, published by John Wiley & Sons. As you may recall from the first videocast, low cost is only one of three possible value propositions. This videocast explains how you can bulletproof your premium business against low-cost competitors via either performance value or relational value. Let us start by looking at how performance leadership companies try to stay competitive. If the Grand Quizmaster was to ask you to name some performance leadership companies, which ones would you think of? These days, you'd probably think of Apple, or maybe Toyota when you're thinking about environmentally friendly automobiles, or perhaps technology companies like Intel or Research in Motion, the maker of BlackBerry. In analyzing this set of companies, let us first look at one of their biggest challenges: rising innovation costs and shortening product life cycles. Let us illustrate this with a chart. In the past, revenues from innovation often comfortably exceeded innovation costs. Today, in many industries, innovation costs are rising and product life cycle windows are shortening as competitors quickly catch up. This can be a profitability killer. How can companies deal with this? Here I would emphasize three elements. First, the need for constant innovation to stay ahead of competition. Second, the possible use of open innovation models. And third, getting beyond the strategic breakpoint.
Let us go through these points one by one. Performance value companies need constant innovation. There is no sleeping on one's laurels here. Look at how the iPod has evolved since it was launched. It has been a moving target for competitors. For another company, it might be a pipeline of new pharmaceutical patents. For a third, it might be marketing and technology innovation to stimulate an otherwise mature shaving system market. Open business models, which encourage the use of innovation from outside the company walls, are one method to help maintain performance leadership. One example is Procter & Gamble. In the year 2000, the company's CEO set the objective of having 50% of its innovations coming from external sources. Open business models also enable companies to sell some of the internally developed innovation to outsiders for a profit. As the chart shows, some extra revenue can be gained, and some cost can be trimmed. Thirdly, strategic breakpoint. What is this, you probably wonder? It is the magical turning point when customers start to switch to purchasing your product instead of the competitors, even the low-cost one. Being a little bit better than your competitor is often not enough to get customers to switch. Let us explain this with an example. British company Tennant increased its carpet cleaning machine market share when it reduced drying time from 24 hours to 30 minutes. Reducing the drying time to 12 hours would have given it an edge over competition, but 12 hours is still far too long for a busy casino or airport that operates 24 hours a day. But having the carpet dry and usable in 30 minutes attracted many new customers to the Tennant solution. As the chart shows, the strategic breakpoint occurs when a high level of differentiation on some important benefit has customers jumping ship to your product, which means you gain market share.
Now let us look at the second major way companies try to stay ahead of their low-cost competitors by building relational value. Let us illustrate this with the age-old Japanese tradition of bonsai trees. The bonsai owner has such an intimate knowledge of his tree that not a day goes by without him watering, fertilizing, or trimming the tree to make it more beautiful. In the same way, relational value leaders try to put themselves in the shoes of their customers and come up with innovative new ideas to improve the customer's business.
To illustrate, let us take two examples. Orica Explosives in the B2B area and Tesco Supermarkets in the B2C area. Orica Mining Services is an Australian company that felt the cold breath of low-cost competition on its neck hairs in the 1990s, when explosives were becoming commodities. To move away from this price-based war, which Orica knew it was bound to lose, the company underwent a complete character change to become a service provider. Huh? Excuse me? You are probably thinking, how did they manage this chameleon trick and change skins? Orica engineers and managers put themselves in the shoes of their customers, mine and quarry operators. These clients were really not interested in buying, say, a ton of TNT. They wanted a task done. They wanted rock on the quarry floor so that it could be loaded into trucks for transportation to a processing plant. or a new vein opened for gold in the Kalgoorlie superpit, requiring the simultaneous explosion of 20 charges along a 1-kilometer stretch. So the Orica staff became true partners of their clients. Orica no longer billed for a ton of explosives, but for the amount of rock on the ground that met the customer's size specifications.
Now let us look at relational value leadership in the business-to-consumer space. Tesco provides good lessons on how to develop and build relationship with literally millions of customers. The bonsai parable might not be so appropriate here unless you think of a forest of bonsais. Anyhow, just like Orica, Tesco was under pressure from low-price competitors like Asda and Aldi. It had to respond. It also wanted to overtake long-time market leader Sainsbury's.
Some of Tesco's actions were non-relational. For example, the chain introduced a line of low-cost products for price-sensitive customers. Tesco also reduced waiting times in the checkout lines. Thirdly, the chain added a smaller store format for urban areas and petrol stations. But the fourth step was the chain's strategic breakthrough, and this is where the relational model steps in full force. Starting in 1993, Tesco launched a loyalty card program called Club Card. By collecting and carefully analyzing the vast amount of data it had about customers and their shopping behaviors, Tesco could develop highly customized offers for each customer, which it sent with a loyalty rebate check each quarter. According to Nestlé, the number of loyal shoppers at Tesco doubled between 1995 and 2005, and each shopper was spending twice as much.
Time is running short, and I realize you are busy. Let me quickly summarize. In this video cast, we have covered the following. First, there are two major ways to compete with low-cost competitors: performance value and relational value. Second, performance value relies on constant innovation, possibly using open innovation models and achieving strategic breakthroughs. And third, relational value relies on the bonsai approach, building intimate relationships with customers and anticipating their every need.
We hope that you have found this videocast useful. Should you have any questions or comments, please contact us at this email. Additionally, thank you for spreading the word about this series to your friends and colleagues.
Thank you once again, and good luck in your low-cost ventures.